Hey, what's up? This is Amazin.reacts, reacting to a brand new video on my channel. Today's video is titled Star Wars Jedi Survivor Review. This is an IGN review of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I played this game, played both of them. I enjoyed them. I thought they were amazing games. Hopefully they make more, or at least make DLCs. I think it's some controversy going on with EA. Maybe they got bought out by different people or something like that. But hopefully whoever owned the rights to this game can continue to make them, because I enjoyed this game. It was something new, fresh. It was from a Jedi perspective and not just a Star Wars universe where you're a stormtrooper or something like that. I do love the Jedi in Star Wars. I feel like they don't they don't really show the story of the Jedi as much as I would like for the franchise. But I think even the Star Wars franchise with Disney, I think they under new ownership too. So maybe that'll change in the future. But let's see what they thought about the actual game.
At first, I was afraid.
I
I was
was
petrified.
terrified. Oh, I was gonna say that. I said terrified.
A lightsaber.
I kept thinking, how could Respawn follow up on its outstanding Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah, the
The
first.
concept's so
Now I do
nice,
think the
just
first
plan a
game was a
sequel
little
and
bit
see
better,
how they got
but
it
I
right.
did like this one.
And Cal Kestis grew strong. And I learned how to get along.
It sold me on Cal because I was a little
okay,
iffy on his
okay,
character at
don't
first.
leave, I'll stop. The point is that with vastly expanded combat options, bigger, more open maps, many more abilities to play with, and enough collectible stuff to fill a Corellian freighter,
I wish
Wars
they
Jedi Survivor is in
implemented
many ways
him in the
Batman
actual
Arkham City
series
to
that they
Fallen
got
Order's
going on.
Arkham Asylum. And much like those
But
other
I do
games did
think
for
they need to get
Batman,
away from the
nothing else
Skywalker stuff.
convincingly
So
captures the
he in
power
that
fantasy of
timeline, so
playing as a force user
probably
quite
never
as
see
well as
that.
this.
Yeah, dual wielding in this game was good,
Especially considering there's no reason not to go back and
and then they
play
had
Fallen
like a
Order before
lightsaber
starting
greatsword
Survivor
that
if
you
you
could
haven't.
use.
I greatly
It was like
appreciate
Kylo
that the
Ren.
sequel starts you out with most of the powers and upgrades that Cal had already acquired. There's no corny amnesia or, oh no, my force powers are gone gimmick to make you relearn how to
Yeah, I'm
double
glad they
jump or
didn't do
use
that.
force push. And no Jawas showed up to steal away the climbing claws that make scaling walls much faster or the scomp link that lets BD1 hack things. Outside of having to earn back your healing canisters and life and force bar extensions, this is more or less Cal as we left him 5 years prior.
Yeah, that's good that they did it like that.
So we're
It even had like a little
exciting
plot
running
twist.
start
I ain't
when
gonna
things
spoil
kick
it if
off
you
with a
haven't
brief
seen
caper on Imperial
seen
Coruscant.
the
You're quickly thrown
review,
right
but they
back
might
into
spoil it in
pushing
here.
stormtroopers off ledges and chaining together
But yeah, it had
movement
like a
tricks
little
wall
plot
running,
twist
climbing, swinging,
on the
and sliding down ramps.
main
And
villain,
that's just the beginning. The Spider-Man style grapple is
or maybe the
introduced
second
before you
act
leave the
villain.
planet, and the unlocks keep coming from there at a rewarding pace. When you get the mid-air dash ability to pair with your double jump, things really take off. You can cover such crazy distances without touching the ground, changing directions
I love
twice
these
to reach
scenes
things
too.
around corners, that I had to completely rethink what was possible.
I ain't gonna lie, I was
It's
just
not as
running
though
and
Survivor
jumping at this
invented
point,
the air dash, but Respawn makes excellent
just
use of it
clicking
and
buttons.
further
But
flexes those Titanfall muscles.
it did make it easier to where, yeah, you could do stuff like
Lightsabers
that.
are, of course, the stars of the war, and Survivor kicks up the excellent dueling from Fallen Order by several notches with 5 different
I give
fighting
this game a
stances that are all
9, but
brilliantly
I wish they
animated
had other
to create
characters
some
that
of
you
the
could use.
flashiest
Like
and
they should have
fiercest
brought
Star Wars
Obi-Wan
melee
in here,
battles I've ever seen.
because he alive during this
You don't
time.
have to be all that good at nailing the timing of strikes, parries, and dodges for fights to look spectacular and smooth. And did you notice the arms and legs getting cut off? It's great. Cal's lightsaber has many customizable cosmetic parts, and all of the available blade colors are unlocked shortly
I like
after
the
the
just the
start, so
normal
you can make Cal
lightsaber.
more
That's the
your
one
own
I
from the very
mainly
beginning.
use.
That also goes for his blaster and his range of clothing, which is far more extensive this time around, as well as his new haircut and beard options. He'll always be the same Cal Kestis underneath it, but your character will likely have a very different vibe from mine. Yes, it is a little silly to find haircuts and beards and treasure chests, but sure, why not? And I'm just delighted at the customization for our loyal companion BD1. In Fallen Order, you could only change his paint job, but just look at all of this, and look at the way his body
I
reacts.
probably just kept
It's
them the
another
same
lovely
as the
little
game. I
touch
didn't
in a
really care
game
about
that
nothing
presents
like
so
that.
many.
But the cosmetics on
But
Cal, I
anyway,
probably change.
you can only equip 2 lightsaber stances at a time, which gives your Cal another dose of personality.
Really don't want us inside.
That's the one I
So
didn't
after
use as
dabbling
much.
in the single,
The sword with the
double-bladed,
gun,
and
I used
dual-wielding
that.
stances that carry over, I settled on the 2 new ones. The Kylo Ren-inspired crossguard style is like a slow and heavy
Yeah,
broadsword
it was too
that's
slow
great
for
for
me.
hammering a
I
stunned
like to be
target into the
faster.
floor, while the blaster style lets you dispatch small enemies without having to close the gap. It is quite literally a blast.
I did like that
They
they
pair
introduced
nicely
this
with
in
the
there, but I
expanded set
guess
of force
like
powers that
diehard
allow
Star
you to do
Wars
things
fans
like
didn't like
this.
that. I guess it
You
was
can,
just
of
something
course,
about
swap out your stances
using
at
a
any
blaster with a
meditation circle,
lightsaber that was
but each
against the
stance has
Jedi
its
way.
own skill tree, so you're encouraged to specialize. By the time I reached the second half of the story, I had my clear favorites and no regrets. The story does the
How to
job that it
duel
needs
with,
to do
I
well.
don't know.
Get you from one exciting action scene to the next. Quite literally by accidentally falling into it, Cal finds himself in a race to locate what's effectively a map to a lost treasure planet.
We should check this out.
That's very much in keeping with him as the Nathan Drake of the Star Wars universe,
What is this?
I never played Nathan
and it
Drake.
leads to plenty of excuses to
But
visit
I guess
old
I agree with
abandoned
it.
puzzle chambers. It might take you 20 hours or 30, depending on how long you spend
The puzzles
taking a
weren't too
detour
hard.
to get eaten by the damn Rancor and other optional bosses. For me, it was in the 30s.
Yeah, the puzzles weren't that hard.
My main issue with the story is that nearly every big twist is foreshadowed so heavily that it was only ever a matter of when a reveal would happen, not if.
Bro, am I stupid? Because I did not see that last foreshadowing.
The identities of the main villains are a secret as
About
of now and shall
the
remain
main
unspoiled
villain.
here, but they're
I
pretty
ain't gonna
easy to see
spoil
coming
it,
a
but
lot
I did
your
not
way.
see that
In
coming
any case, at least they're written and acted with enough depth that they don't feel like retreads of
until it
anyone
actually
Cal's faced
happened.
before. And neither is a two-dimensional Sith Lord who has somehow returned. There's more to them than that, and Survivor successfully prioritizes character over plot for the most part.
Kill him.
Oh no!
Hey, we're all together. Huh?
Yes.
The cast I enjoyed so much in Fallen Order is back in
Yeah,
full force
I wish
to
they
go
would've
through those motions.
Put some more
And this
Jedi
time,
characters
actor
that you could
Cameron
play.
Monaghan's Cal is not so easily
And you
outshined
still
by
can
the
go
crew
through the
of
main
Mantis.
story through Cal, but at least the option of
His
playing as a
motivations are
different
about more than simply fighting the
Jedi.
Empire now. It's about whether he can live a life where he's something more than a resistance fighter. Let go of his guilt and find a home that's safe. His path after escaping Order 66 is contrasted against what it could have been if he'd had different priorities and made different choices. Because of that context, his decisions have more weight to them, making him a much more realized
I ain't
protagonist
gonna
this
lie, I
time
don't remember
around.
this part.
Cal,
Who was this?
this is BD1.
What are you, cute little droid?
I ain't played this game in a while though. I ain't played it since it first
Naturally,
came out.
BD-1 never left Cal's side, but the rest of the crew are all given very human reasons for their parting of ways after Fallen Order and why they're coming back together now.
Me, you, the Space Witch, Seer.
Grease's lovable cantankerousness made him a favorite.
You missed the Mantis, huh?
Sure.
I ain't trust it. See it. I mean, I ain't trust him in the
And
beginning.
he's happy to deliver more of that, along with some sage
On the
wisdom,
first.
while carefully avoiding overuse of his catchphrase.
All right, make like a rock and quit moving around my cabin.
Merrin returns and immediately rekindles the romantic chemistry between herself and Cal,
I missed you, Merrin.
and riding her teleporting coattails leads to Survivor's single most thrilling action sequence.
Yeah, I like her character. I wish you got to play as her.
And though
Like,
she's less of a
turn her
constant
into a
presence
Jedi.
due to Cal no longer needing a mentor, the ever-intense Sayre is more powerful than ever, and that's
gonna
memorably
lie,
on
Sayre got
display
that
in
shit
one
on
of the
her.
story's biggest moments.
We both have our roles to play in this struggle.
Aside from a large cast of colorful alien side characters, the other new
Did they
member
make her
of the group
outfit
is Bo.
available to him?
He's a friend.
It's so nice to finally meet you.
He's another roguish mercenary type who, much like Cal did in Fallen Order, initially comes off somewhat blandly as the two bro it up to establish the friendship they've struck up fighting the Empire off-screen together.
I guess maybe that's why
As
I
his
didn't
backstory
notice.
is fleshed out, however, he does become a more interesting companion.
Yeah, I guess because maybe he was bland on purpose, so you wouldn't see the plot
Fighting
twists.
alongside allies on certain story missions this time around is a treat, especially watching Merrin blink around the battle and pick off targets.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me
They
of
don't need
Arkham
babysitting
Knight when
because they
you
can't be hurt,
Robin and
But you can
stuff
have
with
them prioritize
Poppy
an
and,
annoying enemy.
and help when you fight some fights.
Beyond that, they're only really used to open up paths for you to reach new areas when prompted.
How's this?
But their banter and companionship definitely liven up scenes in a way that BD1's adorable bleeps and whoops couldn't do alone. Of course, with new friends must also come new enemies. And following a whole game of battling mostly Imperial Inquisitors, it's a
Ooh.
relief to see that the Empire's role here is more in the background. Their parade of trooper types and security droids are mostly here to provide variety after you've been fighting the main enemy army of raiders and their salvaged separatist battle droids. It's a clever way to plausibly merge the original and prequel trilogy enemies together in the same game.
No, you gotta parry more.
There's also no shortage of beasts that resemble what we saw in Fallen Order. No matter where you go in the Star Wars galaxy, it seems life always finds a way to make giant bugs and big angry wampas.
Man, this game was good.
It's a good mix of
I
enemies
go
and
back and play it.
subtypes that builds on the previous game's already respectable lineup. And when
I
I
feel like
find
this game
myself
would
in
be
the
a whole
middle of
lot
a
easier.
fray
Now
where
after
different
playing
factions are
Sekiro
battling
and
it out,
Lies of P,
including any
I feel like this
weak-minded
game would be
foes
a
I
whole lot easier.
temporarily force confused over to my side, it's a
Like for
great
me.
time. On the subject of creatures, one of Cal's many new abilities is to ride mounts. Though that isn't ever really used for much besides galloping across big empty areas slightly faster than Cal could have run on foot. There's also a flying animal that can be used as a glider, though only at very specific points. So it's not much of a game changer either, but it does play nicely into environmental puzzles.
Yeah.
Speaking of environments, this journey takes us to a handful of never-before-seen planets, some of which are expansive and include a variety of extremely different areas within them. Your new home base world of Kobo, for instance, has everything from grassland to swamp to underground facilities, a crass separatist ship, and even its own version of Cloud City. They're far from the typical Star Wars one-note worlds like Tatooine or the
Yeah.
Forest
I
Moon
love the
Endor.
word of the game design.
Every time I entered a new area, I'd circle the camera, looking for telltale signs level designers leave to indicate a wall is runnable, a ceiling can be clung to, a crack can be squeezed through, and more. These levels are meticulously thought out puzzles in and of themselves, and only rarely did
And
I
the
run
puzzle's
across
not that
something
too
that
hard.
didn't
I hate
feel
when games
intuitive or
make puzzle
fair
their
once I took into
identity,
account all of the
where it's
tools at
so
my
hard where the
disposal.
puzzle make you want to stop playing. Like I'd rather just be a hard
Considering that
boss
this
and I gotta
adventure is
fight
roughly
over and
equal
over,
parts combat and puzzle
rather
solving,
than a puzzle
the
that I
fact that
gotta
there's
try to
such a
figure
broad
out.
selection of types
But it's
works
just
in
me.
its
Some
favor.
people like stuff
Puzzles
like
that
that.
deal with directing energy beams and even painting paths are clever and well done, on par and sharing some ideas with a lot of what we saw in God of War Ragnarok last year. They aren't groundbreaking in their design, but they're consistently fun nonetheless.
Oh, that's a good comparison. I didn't think of that. Yeah, it is like
Throughout
God
it
of War.
all, Survivor is a gorgeous game with beautifully detailed environments and characters, and perhaps as a result, not one of the best performing. My PS5 playthrough saw some fairly gnarly slowdowns from the
Oh,
expected
he
30
did 5
frames per
playthroughs.
second in 4K quality mode, especially when fighting around smoke or fog, which made timing my parries and dodges difficult. Disappointingly, even the 1440p performance mode, which most of this review footage is recorded in, isn't close to holding a locked 60 frames per second. I also saw a few crashes and bugs that forced me to quit and reload my saves to progress.
He must play it on PC.
EA says the day one patch will come with improvements on all platforms, but if history is any guide, it might take
Oh,
a
this
little
day
while
one.
before that's completely ironed out. A smooth frame rate is certainly important when battling Survivor's multiple lightsaber-wielding bosses, because there is no shortage of challenge in learning the timing of parrying their strikes and dodging their unblockable attacks. I confess, after a few hours of banging my head against the brutal final boss, I finally resorted to turning the difficulty down a notch so I could see the ending in time for this review. That said, there's not a lot that felt especially novel about these fights.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't
They're
play it on the
well-made,
hardest
but
mode.
mostly conventional,
But I
and
mean,
one
I'm
aspect
pretty
that
sure I
hasn't
can
seen a
beat it
great
on
improvement over Fallen
hardest mode.
Order.
All the games I'm gonna do so far.
When it comes to tracking down those bosses in the first place,
See, I like the
certainly
story
appreciate
more
that
so
the
when it
Jedi
comes to
games
this
give
game.
you a map, but it does leave something to be desired when it comes to usability. Just like in Fallen Order, this seems so dedicated to the idea of resembling a light blue Star Wars hologram that it's not always easy to figure out what you're looking at, and the directions its waypoints give you aren't always accurate.
I think
However,
it's
dotted
just
lines
how to
were
figure out
generally
how
good
if
enough to
you
point me in the
higher
right
or
direction
lower,
when I
like the
struggled to find
elevation
a
was
path
a
forward
little
or
bit
was feeling
hard to
lost. Also,
read.
this time Respawn has granted us the ability to fast travel between save points, which feels like an act of mercy when the objective is on the other side of one of these large labyrinthian maps. They're dense, too. Survivor is packed full of things to do around the edges of the main story, including bounty hunters and legendary creatures to track down and kill, combat challenges, and more. Some of
I
those
might
are
need to go back and
seriously
try to get a
tough,
platinum trophy
even
for
on the
some of these
default
games.
Jedi Knight difficulty.
I don't like the
On
DLC
top of
they
all
added.
that,
I think this
there's
is
just an
part of like the
intimidating amount
DLC
of
that
stuff
they
to
added,
collect.
where you in this
And
like
yes,
realm
there
where you just
is
keep
a new
fighting.
game plus.
I guess it's like a boss rush.
I'm sure the Emperor won't mind if I deliver you to him in pieces. What?
Star Wars Jedi Survivor takes what Fallen Order achieved and wall runs with it, then double jumps and air dashes straight into an epic lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
Rather than
That's
taking
all
us
you
back
can ask
square
for,
one
to be
begin
real.
Cal's journey as a Padawan again, we're trusted with control of a full-fledged Jedi Knight.
I didn't use much
We
creativity
can
when I
grow
was
into a
killing,
master
like
of
picking somebody
superhuman
up and throwing them
mobility
to a bomb and
fantastic and
stuff.
challenging combat. With a new set of larger, more diverse, and densely packed worlds to explore and a memorable cast of returning characters, Survivor tells a story that may be predictable at times, but is still fun and emotional to watch play out. Launch performance issues aside, it's a sequel that does virtually everything better than the original.
This one thing, I don't count launch performances as an issue because it's on launch. once they figure it out, then it's cool. Like if this has been like a month later and you still having those issues, then I can see that being a problem.
Which was already an exceptional Star Wars game. If Respawn makes one more like this,
Nah,
it'll be
that's
the
good.
best Star Wars trilogy in 30 years, hands
I'm
down.
lenient though. I'm gonna give almost everything. Every game I played has been
For
like a
more,
9.
check out our reviews of Dead Island 2 and Resident
As
Evil
long
4
as I'm
Remake.
enjoying it, I'm
And
good.
for everything else, stick with IGN.
Copy that, Bravo.
All right. So that was the IGN's review of Jedi Survivor. I enjoyed the game. It's been a while since I played it, so it was good to see this and get a kind of like a refresher of what's going on. Maybe I'll go back and play it and try to get a platinum trophy or something like that, or just, for nostalgia reasons. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.